Yes, sir, I see it.
Okay, on your name here, anything that you have submitted so far,
Uh-huh.
I think you have less submissions than others, if you check.
Ah, then how come when I've been submitting
Can you
them?
see that?
I have 15 submissions.
Yes, you have 15 submissions. But in these 15 submissions, majority are just logbooks and project. And when it comes to the modules, let me open this one. Let's find out which one is this one.
Okay, sir.
This one was module 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go back. That was the formative module 1. This is the summative module 1. Let's
Uh-huh.
go to module 2. Module 2, I think, is this one. This was module 2, formative,
Uh-huh.
assessed competent. Then let's go to this one is module 2,
Mm-hmm. Summative as well.
summative, yes. And then let's go to
Let's go
more,
to A. Let's A. Yes, sir.
yes, this one. Let's click on this one.
Uh-huh.
This is module 3,
Yes.
formative, competent as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's click on,
Now we are on 4. Remember, okay, let's check summative 3.
let
Uh,
me check this one. You don't have summative 3. That's what
ah,
you did.
ah,
You made as a mistake. I see here
okay.
you have two formatives here.
Yes.
Okay, let me click on this one and see.
Okay, sir.
No, this is summative 3.
Yo, I
Summat
submit, say. Oh, you
yeah,
sent me. Okay,
can you
sir.
see it?
Yes,
Summative
sir.
3.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now the ones that are not yet assessed here,
Is the
let's click
4
here,
formative
is
4?
module 4.
Uh-huh. I see
Yes.
it. Okay.
And this one is summative 4 so far.
Okay. All
Yes.
right.
So
It's okay.
your concern was to say which one did you not see?
The formative one, I see here you have everything, but on the system it is not updated. So I think the system has an issue because we are
Yes.
thinking you are not to say you are not marking because we got a feedback that you are marking and you are busy with our assessments, but the results are not there, which is the issue. So system has to be fixed. You know,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
it's not with you, but the system. Now we understand that. But
Okay, because
yeah.
yeah, because I was also told that you are not giving feedback, and then I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah,
That's why
but
I
I
wanted us
think
to have a common understanding right now.
yes.
Yes.
Aish. Okay, thank you, sir. I'm
O-
relieved now. I'm relieved.
Okay. 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 And who's next? I want us to understand everyone to bring up their problems, and I've seen some of you who have very less submissions. Um, some of these people, I don't know who are they, like Leonardo Chipendo. Like, there's another person here I've been looking for, Tsukune. I've been also looking for another person who did a submission, but he uploaded something wrong instead of uploading the right stuff. I'm looking also for Mduduzi Zwane. I'm looking for Mkam Sanga Kanyisile. I'm looking for that person too. Mlangeni Tombikaise. I'm looking for that person because so far no submissions. Telela Sponelo, no submissions. Ngubane Nozipo, very less submissions. September, yes, you can go ahead. And I'm also looking for Nshinga Noluvo. This
Uh,
person has very less submissions.
Good day, sir.
Good day, how are you?
I'm good and you, sir.
I'm fine, fine.
I just want to ask how many submission must be on the portal because I see my name they are updating submission and I've submitted all of my assessment, including my logbooks.
Okay, so you are September, isn't?
Yeah. Mahwale Thaban September, yeah.
Yes, let me check quickly. Makhwale Tabang.
Thabang, yeah.
Yes, I'm just clicking on your. I'm sure you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, so you have some stuff to correct.
Like which ones, eh?
There's
If
one
I-
of the logbooks from submitted on the 4th of August. Do you see it?
For that, I've talked to our admin where I fixed that. I don't know if she told you.
Not
She
yet.
can
I'll
not yet.
liaise with them to know what is going on.
Okay.
Yes. And then when you check on your submissions here, Tabang,
Okay. It's only one notebook that it's a NYC, ne?
Yes.
So for that
And also
one
I want to find out with you
okay.
this one. This is formative 2. And then I see here summative, it might be 2 as well.
Yes.
And then let's go and look for 3. Formative 3, assessed, competent. And then this one is the summative 3, assessed, competent. So now, what I don't see is module 1. Where is it?
Module 1 is in formative 1.
Formative 1 and summative 1 is what I don't see on your portal here. Because I see the majority here are logbooks. You see, module 1, I can't see it on your portal here.
I've submitted everything. I'm only left with 5. Is it formative and summative 5? No, the one that we are writing. No.
Okay, can you please note down and maybe communicate with Mr. Maposa so that he can find out where is your module 1, because so far on my side here I don't see your module 1. I see majority of stuff here are just logbooks. I don't see your module 1.
Okay. So no, my problem is gonna be the module 1.
Yes, I don't see it in the portal.
Okay, I think I will have to talk to Mr. Maposa.
Yes.
Otherwise, I will have to resubmit them again.
Yes, otherwise you have to resubmit module 1.
Okay, thank you. Okay, actually, all of them, they have to, all of our submission have to be 15, close to 15, 16 currently.
No, there are people who already have 20. Let me check. There's someone here who has 20.
Some of them have 16,
23. Like
Yeah.
Mutiana, Yolanda has 23. There's Lerato Nombulelo with 19. There is Nengobela Masha Tisela with 25. So this person is the one who almost submitted everything. Let me just check. I think she has submitted up to 4. Yes, to module 4 is the one that I have not yet uploaded on her side in terms of correction.
So
okay.
Which means for us,
My apologies. Can I just answer to this?
Our
Hello. How are you? Yes, sir. Yes, it's me. Yes, it's Anselm. Oh, okay. Okay. So I managed to download them. Okay. Yes. Yes, and it amounts to the total required credit there. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Oh, okay. I think those ones she has to send to you separately. Mm. Yeah. Maybe may you just please communicate with her. Her number uses a WhatsApp. You have a WhatsApp. Yes, you can email, but WhatsApp is much quicker because email sometimes someone might check it very late, maybe tomorrow. But if you WhatsApp her, she can quickly reply. You are looking for? You are talking of assessment memos. Assessment memos were in their material, of course. They are the of memos. Okay, but the memos we have, I think they are just for assessment, but I have not seen memos for moderations. I have not yet seen memos for moderation in the material, but I'll double check. Oh, okay. I'll do so. Okay. I'll send them to you. Okay, sir. Yeah. Okay. Please just call her on WhatsApp. You can even text her so that she can send you logbooks immediately. Okay. Thank you so much. Sure. Yes. September. Sorry for interruption.
Okay, it's okay, sir.
Okay. Who's next?
Sir.
Mr. Sir,
Yes.
can I at least make one request, last request?
Yeah.
How about every, maybe let's say, first week of the month after our submission, we have a meeting with you so that you can confirm if our assessment are those assessments that we submitted are already on the portal, so that we can know if we have submitted the right ones or what or not.
Okay. I get that. I think
Maybe
I can be able
every
to do
month
it.
end, if we make missions, you're gonna. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. But it should be agreed with everyone. If everyone agrees with that, I think we can go for that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, who's next?
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
it's Michelle. Sir, when you were talking to me, my network kicked me out. So I didn't hear anything that you were saying.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let me go back to your file. Let me go to your profile, to your portal here and see where's Michelle. Okay, I'm on your profile here. I'm on your portal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I have seen what I have not yet marked on your site is just this classwork. This project, the one you submitted on the 5th of no, on the 6th of May. That is the
All
one.
right.
Yes, and then module 4.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I think you're up to date.
Thank you.
Okay, so the only outstanding you have to submit is module 5, isn't it?
Yes, I'm gonna submit. I'm already done with them. I'm just gonna submit them.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, pleasure. Who's next?
Good day, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, man.
It's Busi speaking, sir.
Is Busisiwe
Yes, sir.
Skoza? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have only received feedback for module 1 assessments, sir. The other ones I haven't received any feedback yet.
Are you able to see my screen over here?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, so I'm just going to open where your profile is. Then you can be able to tell whether I'm done with your work or not. So it's Busisiwe Skoza. Okay, I'm here. I've opened. Can you see your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and as you view your name, from everything you have submitted, just check from this column here, the last column here on the right.
Yes, sir.
Can you see feedback there? I have assessed until your module 4 I've assessed and submitted. Can you see that?
Yes, sir, I can see that.
Yeah. So the one I have not assessed is this formative for module 5. But if everything of yours, including from module 1 up to module 4, with all your project and logbooks, I have assessed them. It's only module 5 that I have not assessed. Have you seen that?
Yes,
and
sir.
whenever I open any one of these, if I open, you can see that there was a file uploaded here. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think if you can't see on your side, that is the portal problem. So you can address that with Mr. Maposa.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay, pleasure. Next.
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, it's Londani. Londani.
Where is Matome?
No, Munyai.
Or is Munyai Londani? Okay, let me check quickly. Let me go to your. Do you have any concern so far?
I haven't received feedback from summative and formative 3.
Formative and summative 3. Londani.
And 4,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, 3 and 4.
Yes.
Okay, I recall that I have assessed everything of yours. Let me just go back to my files here and see. Londani Munyai. Let me see why I have not uploaded yet the 3 and 4. Let me quickly check. Is your name here? So if I check it properly, your submission here, this one was on the 30th, 23rd of August. Let me see this one. The other one, when did this one come in? I see these two. This is just project, and this one is a logbook. I'm just trying to focus on these two. What formative is this? This is formative 5 we have uploaded. Okay, let me check 3. Where is it? I don't see 3. Okay, let me go look for 3. That is summative 5. Let me look for. I don't see. So it means your module 3 is not figuring in this. Is not. You can't even see it here, isn't? Module 3. Londani?
And see it.
So the only one that you can't see is module 3.
Yes.
Yes, even on my side too, I have you. It shows that you never submitted it. So that one,
I will resubmit. Okay.
yes, that one, and make sure when you submit it should be on MS Word format, because I can see on my side there is no module 3. So that one you are behind with that one. You never submitted.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay. And also another person, by the way, on module 3, this person submitted module 1 by that time. Is Asanda Methlomakulu. Let me see what she got wrong here. Yes, Asanda Methlomakulu, you need to make sure you correct your module 1 formative and summative. You got them wrong. You got them wrong, so please make sure you correct them. You are not yet competent here. Asanda Methlomakulu. Please make sure you fix this. And then Mangaliso, I'm looking for, is this Mangaliso in? Dlamini Mangaliso? Dlamini Mangaliso, are you in?
Yes, Mr. Tisi.
Let me check what went wrong here. There was something to fix on you on your module 3, Dlamini Mangaliso, but it's fine. And also, yeah, so Londani, please submit. You never submitted module 3. Just try to submit that one, then I will deal with it. Next, please.
You said I should Mr. Anselm, you said I should submit module 3.
Yes. Londani.
Oh, Londani.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you can check it now. It's uploaded. Thank you.
Yes. So there's Mangaliso. Let me check. There is a small problem on your side. I just want to find out from the system side. Okay, here we are. There is one logbook that you need to fix. Have you noticed that?
Yes, we've communicated with the MEM admin and I've resubmitted the other one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and what is outstanding on your side so far? Because I have marked until your module 4 here. I have marked already.
Yeah, it's module 5.
Module 5. So have you seen your feedback so far on everything that I have assessed?
Yes, still module 3.
Even module 4, I can show you from here that I did your module.
Yeah. I just didn't check my portal yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think wait. Maybe I might be saying something wrong. Wait. I might be saying something wrong. Module 4. Oh, no. I don't see your module 4 yet. You have to upload it. Or maybe let me check on where files are. Maybe you have submitted. Let me check here where I have downloaded files.
Okay.
Mangaliso.
All right, I'll upload it again.
Mangaliso, you never submitted your module 4. You are still behind with module 4 and 5. Yes, that's the status on your side. Yeah, you have to submit module 4
Okay.
and module 5. And also
All right,
recorrect
okay.
this
I'll
one.
do that.
Yeah.
The logbook.
Yes. Okay. Is there any other issue you would suggest we can fix? Is there any other issue?
No, not from my side.
Okay. Okay, next.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Lamini? Yes. Can I help?
Mr. Kabongo,
Yes.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please check my one because I think I only received formative 1 and 2 feedback. It's Shirley.
Your name?
Shirley.
Shirley.
Yes, Matidi.
Okay, wait, hold on. Just don't go away. Let me check with you quickly here so you can be able to tell. Shirley Comfort.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just opening here. I see you uploaded something yesterday on the 12th, a logbook.
Yesterday.
Yes, here, I think before yesterday, the 12th. 12.
Okay.
Yes, you can see it here.
So that one, they said I must resubmit because of unit standard.
Okay, and then here, I see you submitted also on the 30th and 31st of August. Let me check what it is. I see formative 4. And then I see summative 3. I have not uploaded, but I am sure I have assessed this already. I don't know why. Summative 3. Let me check. Comfort on summative 3. Where is it? Here I am. You never submitted. I only see you had only formative 3 that I assessed and uploaded. It means you were behind with your summative 3. You submitted it late.
No, I'm never late with my submission.
No, I can see the dates is here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to say here's summative 3, which came behind on the 30th. Yes. And then let me check your module 4. Module 4 summative, I see. And then which one is this one? Module 4. Okay, so I can say your module 3 summative came in late. So I'll deal with
So we
it.
start, okay, so when is late? Because we start with formative then summative.
Yes, I see the date you submitted here on the 30th of August.
Okay, when were we supposed to submit it again?
I think other people submitted it earlier than you. That's how I happened to assess it on time and upload it on time. I think it was assessed earlier, maybe 2 weeks before that, and uploaded. So for others, so for you, you uploaded it late. That is why it's not yet done. But I'm going to work on it.
Okay.
Yes. So I think I owe you that summative module 3 and formative and summative of module 4, and you have not yet uploaded module 5. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's only due next week, I think.
Yes, I will deal with that.
Okay, so is there anything else?
So on your side, are you able to see all of these status here, like me here?
Yeah, but I don't understand this one here.
Which one?
Okay, I'm struggling to see because the font is very fine.
This last one.
I can't see, to be honest. I can't see.
And there is one you were supposed to correct here, which was not yet competent. Can you see it?
Which one is that one?
This one here, I'm clicking
The
on.
logbook.
Yes.
That one was, I saw that one is the one that I resubmitted, I think 2 days ago.
Okay, okay. Then I'll deal with this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Everything else is okay.
Yes, everything else is okay. So I'll deal with this one.
Okay.
And let's see if we have any other concern.
No, I just wanted to see, I wanted to ask about the feedback, but then I see here it says not yet assessed.
Okay, so what I have not yet assessed is only your summative 3 and the whole module 4.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thanks. Who's next?
Afternoon, sir.
Good
Hi,
afternoon. Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Oh, so I wanted to ask about the summative 4 that you said I should resubmit on Friday.
Yes. Yes.
Did you receive it on the side?
Not yet, because stuff that I have here of you in PDF format.
All of them?
Yes. Let me click on them. Then I can. Well, let me see. Okay, I see here. It's like I see new upload here on 11.
Yeah, it was on
It
Monday.
might be one of them.
Yeah, that's what you said I should resubmit. Then I should resubmit everything.
No, let me just, not everything. It was only those 2.
Okay.
I just want to download it quickly here and see if it is in a required format, as I mentioned.
So
okay, let me just check the format. Yeah, so this one is an MS Word format. Let me check the other one. The other one, it should be. So you only submitted one? Because I see. Okay, because when I click on this other one, this one looks like it's just your, this one here. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, so this looks like it's your website thing. It's not. You see how it comes up? It's a PDF. You can see it. It's a PDF.
I see it, sir.
Yeah, it's a PDF.
I'll resubmit the other one.
Yeah, it's a PDF. So just try to correct. And then whenever you submit, is it possible that you remove, you delete the ones that are in a PDF format? If you are able to delete them, please delete them.
I think that's possible on Mr. Sponela's side.
Okay, maybe you can just liaise with them and advise them to delete the ones that are in PDF format so that we do not confuse you.
I'll do so, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, who's next?
Hi, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
It's Pascalina. Thank you so much for joining us today. I seem to be having an issue.
Yeah.
I've received. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, hello.
Yes. So basically, what's happened is that I seem to have uploaded an incorrect formative assessment 2. So that will be my module 2. and it has been marked NYC.
Yes.
Yes, I've just seen it now. As you were talking with the others, I went in to check my feedback. So what I've done is I have re-uploaded the correct one.
Now?
Yes, right now, yes, I have. So as module 2, I sent in a blank module. So now I have resubmitted the correct one. Please help me out in that regard. Just remark it for me.
Okay. Pleasure. I'll do so.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, pleasure. I'll do so.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Who's next?
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
Great. Troy here. I'm back.
Okay, Troy.
Yeah. With regarding to just hold on for a second.
I see someone busy. I see someone busy texting me here, but I'm not sure who is that.
Okay.
I don't know. Can the person tell me who they are? Because I just got.
So I should mute, ne? So that the person can tell you.
Is Asanda? Oh, I see. It's like it's Asanda. Okay, go ahead, Troy. Yes, Troy, you can move ahead, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. I saw the summatives and formatives, right? They are correct. It's just that only formative 4 and summative 4. Then now we are good to go in regarding to that. But I just wanted to ask you, in terms of the questionnaires, because I asked Mr. Maposa the other time, right? Because there was this other question which was so vague too. And then we never recorrected, and he said to me or to us that that you will be the one who's going to answer that question.
Okay, what was the question?
All right. Let me just do this very quickly and refer you.
Okay.
Yeah, because let me just do this very quickly. But I just wanted to know how we're gonna answer that one.
Okay.
Because
it's on module. It's on what module?
I think it's on summative 3. The second last question.
Okay, let me check on your side, summative 3.
Oh, don't open my thing. Why are you opening?
No, I just want to see. I have your files here. I want to see exactly.
Yeah, but you
okay, it's fine. I won't open. Tell me. Okay, just tell me. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. Just tell me.
Please, private and confidentiality in terms of moving forward.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Let's have that. Let's keep it that way. So so that was the question that I had a query with. that was the question that I had a query with, and also, do we have to fill up all the details from, let's say, for specification 1, specification 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the likes? Do we have to fill up all the details?
Yes, it's part of compliance.
Yeah.
So hence it's part of compliance. We don't have to choose. We have to make sure we
compulsory.
Yes, we have to wherever it is required for a learner to comment, wherever it is required for a learner to mention a date, mention whatsoever details there, we have to do so. Because that is part of compliance.
Yeah. The second last question on formative or actually it's summative. Summative 3. The question that's the question that I asked. But whilst you're still here, I will take you back and just to refer back in terms of point of reference.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
That's cool. Yes. Who's next?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, pleasure. Who's next? Next, please.
Mr. Kabongo.
Yes, sir.
Me, I have a question.
Yes.
I heard one of our colleagues asking the question of dates of these assessments.
Yes.
And you didn't answer that question. I would like to go back there because I think now when we're doing our submissions, I think we're just rushing to finish off and actually not even like going through these assessments as they come.
Okay.
For instance, we are on some of them they've submitted up until the last assessment.
Yes.
But we are still on the fourth one. You even said it that you have just finished assessing the third one, the third module.
I'm on the fourth for certain people. I'm done with fourth for the certain people, but not with all of you.
Yes, because some of them they've submitted, and
yes.
the dates are not even written down. Okay. You understand? We're just assuming that these dates are on this month end or when, or you just tell us with word of mouth. Can they be written down somewhere where we can also like make sure that we don't miss the deadlines? Because sometimes they change, sometimes there's like, sometimes it's we're expecting to have a class on a Friday and we don't have that class.
Yeah.
And there's a shift of times, you know, we also like want to understand how you guys set your dates and know the dates which you have set.
Okay. In fact, these dates we don't create them. You write the date according to the days that you were covering. So we assume that most of briefings in terms of assessment, I know I did a briefing on assessment at once, but the rest of briefings are done by the facilitator, who's Mr. Maposa. So I will suggest that the date that you start covering a particular unit standard, you mention it. And then it is assumed that the very same date, the briefing on the assessment on that particular unit standard is done. And the date where you will be given time for completing your logbook, formative and summatives, are the ones that we will be working on. So you'll be able to automatically generate those dates depending on those days that you are busy with that particular unit standard. I'm not sure if it makes sense.
Yeah, to a certain extent, Mr.
Yes,
Kabongo,
yes.
but
I think that is how we have to deal with it, because if it was a face-to-face class, it could have been a different reality. But hence we are on this context of virtual class, you have to consider it as I have explained.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's, because we almost done. Really, actually, we done.
Yeah.
So I guess it was gonna be rectifiable in the beginning, where we would have like a calendar or something.
Oh, okay. I think that one can be done for further use, maybe on the next course.
Yeah. No, now it's fine.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for that question.
Yeah, probably. All right, thanks.
Okay, pleasure.
Okay.
Okay. Who's next? Is there anyone else with a concern? Is there anyone else with a concern? Are we all able to see our feedbacks? Can everyone see?
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Great. Troy, I'm back again.
Okay.
Okay. So, in terms of us, when you say we should comment,
yeah.
What does that constitute in terms of me saying the truth but nothing but the truth? Does it have the validity of being solidified if it has to be appeared to other stakeholders and stuff like that?
Yes, the point is, if you happen not to comment, it can give an impression that it is not authentic.
I didn't understand the task.
Okay, my point is this one. When you give a feedback on your comment might not be necessarily positive. So, but it will help. It will help to enhance your authenticity of saying this is not a copy and paste by someone, but it is actually a work done by someone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that is the use of that.
Okay. Yeah, because there was a part whereby it required certain comments and stuff on formative 4 or summative 4. If I can, like, ask them to be corrected in terms of that. But hence I'm asking the validity and solidification of how will it be rated in terms of you, because it's going to you, right? You are the first person that you can see it, and then I'm not sure if you're gonna edit it or how it's gonna go about it.
No, so hence I'm asking. Okay, we do not edit anything on our side. We are only dealing with evidence provided, and we make judgment based on those evidence. We do not go biased to say, let me harmonize this one for him. No, let me add an accent here. No, let me remove this. We don't do that. We only work with what you have provided to us, and we're just making judgment on that the way it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you read them though? The comments?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah.
Just ask. All right. No problem.
All okay, right, pleasure.
All right. Thanks, Sene.
Okay, pleasure.
Assembly.
Yes, sir.
I have a problem. On the additional work, there's a logbook that is submitted as a feedback there.
Yes.
And I don't think like it should be there. It should be like under the logbooks.
What is that one?
It's a logbook, sir. I didn't submit it under the additional work. I submitted it in the place of the logbooks, but as a feedback, it came through under the additional work.
Okay, can I please just have the date of that work so that I can be able to track it from here?
Okay, let me just provide it just now.
Yeah. And I'm only owing
it.
Yes.
You can go, sir. I'm gonna just give it to you just now.
Are you still searching?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can do something else so long. I'll just like interrupt you and tell you like when I got it just now.
Yeah. So I see on your side, only, have you ever corrected these ones where you were not yet competent? These logbooks where you were not yet competent, have you corrected them? I think these ones were that time where some of you were uploading module 1 on the logbook part. So I think maybe, but it's fine. I'll correct these ones. Where there's NYC.
Mr. Assembly.
Yes.
It was on the 14th of July.
Okay, this one. Okay, let's
me. Yeah, this is Lukuzela Wangas.
Yes. I'm just here. Okay, this one here. This project is the logbook. This one?
Yes, it's supposed to be like under the logbooks, not under the additional work.
Okay, okay. Then I'll correct that. Thank you so much for that remark.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anyone with a concern? Next. Who's next? Who is next? Are we all satisfied? And please double check, since we are almost at the end of the course, double check stuff that you have not yet received feedback on, or stuff that you have not yet submitted but you have forgotten. Please double check on your portal and see if your everything is up to date, because some of the names that I mentioned earlier on, those names, they have very less submissions. So I would like to talk to them so that they can be able to fix their things. Who's next? Is everyone covered? Are we all covered?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir.
I'm good, sir. You're speaking to Edgar.
Okay, Edgar.
Yes, sir. Is it possible for me to communicate with you externally about my feedback on my submissions?
Yes,
not
you
even
can.
one I've got feedback on.
Yes,
Okay.
you have my cell phone number.
Is it possible for you to drop it in the group, the WhatsApp group?
Yes, everyone has it. My number is 074. I can just write it now in the group. You'll see it quickly now. Let me just write.
Okay.
I'm sure you are in both groups. Which group are you in?
In the Cape Town group, sir.
Okay, I'm just writing here 074 178 3537. Can you see it in the group?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's my number.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, pleasure. Okay, who's next? Is there anyone with a concern so far? Do we have anyone that has a problem to be addressed? Is there anyone who need to be helped, or are you all satisfied? Then I can hand over to Mr. Maposa so that he can continue with the class.
I'm satisfied, sir.
Okay. Then if you have any issue, you are welcome to text me on WhatsApp. Then we can take it from there. But I will arrange myself to see by the end of this month, in one of the classes, I will pop in so that we can address again if there is any issue. But for those names that I mentioned earlier, regarding submissions that are not sufficient, so those people need to at least go back to their portals and see what they have submitted and upload more. I'm sure I'm clear on that one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wish to hear from you again. For now, enjoy your class.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, guys.
Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Hey,
How are
Mr.
you?
TC.
Good day. Good day. How's it going?
Well, thanks. And you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
Mr. Maposa.
Yes.
Right.
Sharp. Troy, how's it going?
Great, man. Listen, there was a question that I asked the other time, and then I said it was so vague. So if your memory serves you well, can you remember that question that I asked? And then you said you're gonna revert back after talking with Mr. Kabongo.
I'm trying to remember that.
Yeah.
I think did you send it on WhatsApp?
Yeah, I did. Sure thing. Yeah, I did.
Let me just check here. Like now, Mr. Kabongo has left now the chat.
Oh, he left. Okay, no, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. We can continue. Okay, we can continue with the lesson. It's fine.
Oh, cool. All right. Cool.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope you guys had your questions answered. I was just listening in. I did not hear everything, but I was listening in to the whole conversation there. So I hope most of your questions or the queries that you guys had were actually answered. Of which this is what's also on my side. This is what I'm going to do on my side. As soon as we're done here, as soon as we are done here, like for instance, the moment that we finish this last part of module that we're doing, which is basically your what you call this thing that we're covering right now, the number 5. Let me just call it number 5 here. It's module number 5 there. So what we're going to do is I am going to go on the portal. I'm going to download each and every work that you guys did, because it still needs to be signed and things like that, and then including the ones that have already been marked, that I have to go through all that stuff, and then I have to write reports per each and every individual. So which means in this case here, for everyone who's partaking here, which is like 32 of you guys or so, and then I'm going to have to write reports, and then those reports I'm simply going to send them back so that they can be compiled. And then those reports, like from my side and another report from Mr. Kabongo, they're going to be compiled, and then they're going to be sent over to SPL, and then to Extensive, sorry, and then they'll also be sent over to Rain, your employer. So yeah, so just make sure that by the time when you are done, everything has been submitted. And if there is any work that is outstanding, that it's there, because I'm also going to have some an Excel document that deals with the submissions and the competencies and things like that. So yeah. So like as I said, that if you have got further questions, you can always note them. And then Mr. Kabongo is going to come again sometime, and then he's going to address those questions.
Mr. TC.
Yes, Wanga.
So I just wanted to make a request. Yes, sir. I wanted additional work. I wanted maybe to give me a list of additional work that was supposed to be submitted.
a list of additional work that was supposed to be submitted.
Yes, it's like maybe you see most the assessment thing like is a straightforward thing, like like you're supposed to submit assessment 1 up to 5. Like maybe like somehow maybe I missed like one additional work that was supposed to be submitted, because like there are some things like
I wouldn't know what exactly you missed, because I will not have time to go through your items, but I can only do that after the 1st of October.
Okay, when you have time, say like it's not like something like that is just like to be done like just now. Like when you have time, say anytime.
Okay, cool. No stress then. I'll do that. Okay, so if there's no further questions, I guess we can continue. We do not have a lot of time today. We're still under load shedding here. So I'm basically using my laptop without charging, and I don't know how long my battery is going to hold out, because as I said that I've been in the thingy for what, like since around I think 18 or 16 past. I just joined soon after 16 past, somewhere there, 16 past 2. So I've been in there. So anyway, now, yesterday we're looking at the OOP principles. That's what we're dealing with in our module. They were looking at the OOP principles there. So just to give an overview of what we're talking about there, let me just go back to the module here and share that module so that you guys can get the overview from what we touched on yesterday, and then you are going to give us like sort of a run through of this. So now when we're saying that OOP there, we're saying that OOP, what is OOP? Now, object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm in which uses objects and their interactions for building computer programs. Thus, an easy to understand simple model of the subject is achieved, which gives an opportunity to a programmer to solve intuitively by simple logic many of the problems that occur in the real world. So this is what we're literally saying. Now, notice here they're talking about a programming paradigm which uses objects for their interactions. There, that part there, I'm just going to highlight this part here. And then also and then from there, the second part here, then I'm just going to go back there. The second part here, they're talking about the object. Now, what is an object? Objects are classified as real world objects or abstract objects there. And then the examples that you give in are people, cars, goods, and stuff. We spoke about this. So now, when you are saying an OOP, like for instance, like from the word there, object-oriented programming. So which means we are programming in objects. That is what we say object-oriented programming. So you are programming in objects. So literally, you're saying we're programming in parts. That is what you are saying. We're programming in parts. So now, when you're dealing with those parts now, what are those parts? We know that each and every system that exists in the world is divided into parts. Same applies when it comes to also you, when you're designing apps and stuff like that. You also need to be able to apply these same principles of OOP into your code. And the reason why it's so important for you guys to understand OOP, the reason why they have to separate it and put it on the side, is because now, when it comes to OOP allows you to be able to use code that you have used before to achieve certain objectives. This is to avoid you having to go back time and time again, having to retype the same. Imagine now you wrote code that is maybe 1,000 lines. And then next time you need to do something, and then you need to write that same code again 1,000 lines. Also go back, write the same code 1,000 lines. It becomes monotonous at the end, and the project or the software or the program just becomes too big, unnecessarily so. Why? because there is a way that you can borrow the code that you've been using all this time. And that way is called calling. You simply write the code once and call it. Write the code once and call it. So you keep on calling that code. Every time you need it, you call it. Every time you need it, you call it. Every time you need it, you call it. See, so that is basically the principle of OOP. And now this same principle of OOP, it works across the meta languages that you guys will deal with, that you guys are going to face. As I gave you an example, like for instance, right now we're working with JavaScript. JavaScript has got a certain form of OOP, but the languages that have got the purest forms of OOP are languages like C, C++, are languages like Java, are languages like Python, languages like Delphi. You see, like all these other languages that you have, which are typical languages, they make use of these OOP principles. But languages like JavaScript, it makes use of OOP principles, but in a certain manner. So now, I'm going to go back again and explain the OOP on the basis of JavaScript. So now, when it comes to JavaScript and OOP, excuse me, now, JavaScript uses OOP in a certain way. Because now, I'm going to do this just to explain OOP in JavaScript. We need to understand a few things. OOP is supported in JavaScript. We know that for a fact. And we use it to do certain things. But now the question is, how is OOP implemented in JavaScript? How does it differ from all other languages? You see that? And then we're going to deal with all of those other aspects there of OOP there. So now, one thing that we know is that the OOP concepts that are going to be covered in JavaScript are basically, there's objects, obviously, there's classes. We need to know the difference between objects. We need to know the difference between classes. We need to know encapsulation. We need to know abstraction. We know these are principles of OOP. We need to know inheritance. We need to know polymorphism. We need to know that. And then now, first things first, we need to define what an object is according to JavaScript, of which we actually describe it here when you're saying that objects are classified as real world objects or abstract objects. So now, we know that an object is a unique entity that contains properties and methods. So this here now is this essence of an object in JavaScript. So we know that an object is made up of those two. It's made up of one, a property, two, a method. Those are the two aspects on how in JavaScript we make use of OOP principles there. So one is it's a property and two is a method. So if I will share this with you, let me do this. Let me move from here and share this part of the screen. Okay, there we go. Notice here, we have this thing that we have, which is basically inheritance, but I want to deal with it in this manner here to show you what an object looks like and what it does. Let me do it in this manner. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if I can do it in this particular manner. I'm going to use it as an object constructor. Should I use a constructor or should I use a literal? Let me just use a literal. Okay. I'm just trying to see if I can find something that is be simpler. Okay, let me just do this. I'm gonna come back here. Save here. We have this part here, defining an object, and then inside here, what I'm gonna do is this properties. I hope you guys can see what I have here. So observe here. Now, what we have here is one. We define an object by letting an object be something. So here, what I simply did is I used an object literal, but you guys are not used to this, so you guys are used to the function part. Actually, let me deal with it as a function. I think it's best if we use something that you're actually very familiar with. So this case here, property, and then I think let me leave it like here. So anyway, now what I was simply saying here is this part here. Now you've got an object that you have that has been created. So by letting that object here, so this object that was created there has given certain properties. One, you gave it a first name. Secondly, you gave it a last name. That is the first part of the objects that I was talking about there. That an object. Where is that? Trying to look for that part in your guide here. That it is made up of objects and thingy, but I mean it is made up of we say that it is made up of properties and methods. That is an object there. For example, as we're saying that a car, for instance, or a human being, a car, if we list a car as an object in this case, we know that a car has got characteristics like the color, the type, the model, and like the horsepower, things like that. So now these characteristics about a car, they're basically the properties of that particular car. But now when you're talking about a method now is a property of the object. That is the method now. So a method is the action, if I can put it in layman term. So in this case here, what we have is we've designed here a person, an object, which is a person, and then we gave this object a name and a surname. So we gave this object characteristics, or we gave it properties, that is a name and a surname. And then from there, now, because we know that an object is supposed to have one, the properties, and two, is supposed to have a method. So a method is the action that particular object is supposed to perform, if I can put it like that. So in this case here, this person here has to perform a certain function. And what is the function? The function of this particular object is simple to print out a name. That is the function of this object here. So get function. So notice here we've got method. So the method here is to get function. That is the name of the function, by the way, of the method. It's called get function. And what does this get function do? It is a function that returns a statement. The statement is the name of the person is first name and last name. So now if you run this, and then it's supposed to print out the name and the surname of the person, as we call them. See. So that is how, like when we're dealing with an object, this is how an object is. Basically, an object is made up of properties and is made up of methods. That is an object in JavaScript. So, and then we know that the methods are what? Are actions. The characteristics of an object are properties, and the actions are methods. So that is what it is. And then like how you're going to create an object is up to you. Last time we learned, and there's a bunch of ways there. You can either create an object as an object literal, which is what we simply did right here, or you can create that object using an object constructor, which is basically, now when you're saying constructor, you're basically going to call a constructor function. And then like for instance, there's an example that we did last time that looked something like this, here. You notice now here you're using a function to create an object whereby you've got a function person. You see this. So now, because now you are calling this function of a person, which means you are creating a constructor because you put parameters inside there. It's more in the moment that you put parameters, which means this here has become a constructor object. Now, this particular constructor object has got a name, has got a first name, has got a last name, and then using this function to call. And notice there now, and then you've got this, let the person be, we've got person number 1, let the person number 2. So literally what you simply have here is making an object using a constructor. That's what you have here. So now, being done with this part here, like I said, that we're just recapping here. Then now, according to the principles of OOP, the first principle that we looked at was inheritance. But before I go over there, I need also to define what a class is so that you can have the idea between the two. So now, classes. Now, on the other side, now when you're talking about classes, classes are blueprints of an object. That is what a class is. It's a blueprint of an object. We spoke about this in class. Remember that time when you started introducing templates and stuff? So literally what we're saying that a class is a template of an object. So every time JavaScript, like a class here in the essence of JavaScript here, a class is a template. While this object becomes more like instances. So a class is something that the objects work on to look similar, if I can put it like that. Excuse me. So now we should know that one thing is that in JavaScript, hence I said that we need to understand the difference between OOP in JavaScript and OOP in other languages. Now in JavaScript, we should know that there are no classes in JavaScript. We know that. That is a fact. So even if you are asked in an interview, are there classes in JavaScript? The answer should be a simple and precise no. JavaScript has got no classes. JavaScript only works with objects. But now, the reason is, like JavaScript will say that this is a prototype-based object-oriented programming language. So we know that it is a prototype based. Now, why do we call it a prototype based? Because we create prototypes. That is what we simply do there. We create prototypes there. And hence, now, if you check in this case here, if you look at like this, these are some of the techniques that you need to understand, but this is something that you're gonna learn sometime, like when you go sometime like way into depth. Now, like if we create what you call like an object, but basically this object here is created using a constructor function, and then we are basically creating, like it's an object, but we're creating it as a class. So in this case here, this is how now, especially if you want to use classes in JavaScript. In JavaScript, you use classes like this. For instance, here, we want to define a class. Defining a class using ES6. So, okay, this is a new script here. This is a new JavaScript script. It's not new exactly, but it's something that was introduced in 2015. That's what you've basically been learning. I'm pretty sure if you still remember the stuff that we did in class, we did something similar here. So now we've got a class. A class that we created. This class has got a name called vehicle, but now observe something here. We call it a class, but at the same time, it is an object. this particular class that you have created is actually an object. Why is it an object? Now, notice it's a class that was created using a constructor method. So literally, we constructed an object as a class called vehicle, and then this object has got certain properties or a parameter there, which is the name, the maker, and the engine. And then from there, these are the properties there. You gave the name a name, and then you gave the maker a maker, then you gave the engine also an engine. And then from there, now, and then we've got this part here. This part here that we have here, this is a method. What is the name of the method? Is called get details. You see that? So now this object that we have has got a method. So the properties, they are working with a method. And now what does the method do? The method gets the details from the function. That's what the method does, get the details from the functions and then simple prints them out. And then afterwards, notice this part here, you are simply doing that thing that you are simply doing there by allocating. So you're allocating vehicle 1, allocating vehicle 2, and then you're giving them that. And then from there, you just print. Now, when you're printing, notice here, it's saying that console bike1.name, so that will give you the name of the bike 1, and then console, and then you've got bike2.maker, that will return the maker of that particular make. And then now, when you say bike1.get details, now you are calling the method of bike 1. So when you say get details, now it's going to move up to the top there, and then it is going to simply return the details. And what does the detail return? It returns the name of the bike is, and then gives you the name of the bike. Bike 1 is the name is there, Hayabusa. So Hayabusa, and then there is the name there. And then when you run that, it's supposed to simply give you the name of the bike is Hayabusa. You see that? So that is how the classes work, especially when it comes to the scripting here in JavaScript. So technically now on this note, and then we can simply make use of this to actually apply the principles of inheritance, and that is how, and this is where and this is where actually we start we continue from yesterday. As we said yesterday, that whenever we're working with inheritance has got certain aspects to it. Inheritance has got certain aspects to it. So let's talk about that for now, and then we're going to talk about polymorphism as soon as we are done with inheritance. Now, when it comes to inheritance, let me do this first. I said we are talking about inheritance, and you're going to talk about polymorphism. Perfect. So that was the next part of our topic anyway, which is polymorphism. So we're just going to look at the theory aspect and then look at the practical use of it, or I'm just going to show you how actually it does work. Now, when it comes to inheritance, yesterday I showed you this example here. So now we defined a class or an object, and then this particular object, we gave it a name. And then from there, this object had also a function called toString, and this function called toString, or this method called toString, returns the name of the person with the name of the person. Let me just say that. And then inside that other class, and then we defined another class. Now, the moment that we did that now, so now what we are simply doing here is we're inheriting the person's object in the student object. You see that? So we've got another object that we've defined, and then this object, we call it student. And then we say that student extends from person. So now what does it extend from person? Which means it gets some qualities from a human being. Because like here, in a practical example that you want to give you here is, one thing about like for instance, a human being. If I can break it down here, one thing about a human being is that a person, in this case, a student, in this case here, can, or no, let me say a person. A person can be a student. You see that? And then at the same time, that student can be maybe a class monitor or an LRC member. At the same time, this student can also be somebody's child. You see that? So now that one person can have many different functions. So hence, in this case here, we defined a person. That is what we defined and gave the person a name. And then from there, and then we defined a method for that person. So we said that, okay, this method or this method here is going to perform something. It is simply going to return the name of that particular person. At the same time, now, we know that this person that we have, from this person here, we want to extend another object that is called a student. But this student is going to inherit the information that it has from a person, because the student cannot exist outside of a person. The student is a person, so hence the student has to extend from the person. That's what we're simply saying there. And then now from there, and then we giving the parameters there, a name and an ID. Observe here, the name is already been given up there. So now the next thing that we just do is we say super name. The super keyboard is for calling the above. See that? So literally what we're simply doing is we are calling the name, but we do not call the name from the class, from student, because student doesn't have a name, but a person has a name. But one thing that we know about the student is that the student extends from a person. So every time when you say super name, we're simply saying, okay, cool. We are going to call the name, but we are calling the name from the extended property, which is person. And then we're saying this dot ID is equals to ID. Now we've assigned an ID to the student, but here we do not assign a name to the student because a name has been assigned to the person. But here a student is the one that needs to have an ID, a student ID. But a person doesn't need to have a student ID because a person can be anything. I don't know if you can get my drift there. And then from there, and then there is the toString part, which is another method. Because remember, we have defined a second, what you call this, a second object. Now, because we have defined a certain object, the second object, as much as it has its own property, it's also supposed to have its own method. And then the method for this is called toString also. And then its job is simple to retain the name and the student number. And then from there, now, if you call it out, and then that's what it's simply going to do, is then it's simply going to show that the name is Mukel. What is the student number is that number that has been given there, which is 22. So now, I hope you guys can see that. That is the aspect of inheritance. Now, when it comes to thingy, let me stop sharing here and then let me go back to my document here. Now, when it comes to the second part talks about polymorphism. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show it being in practical use there, polymorphism. Now, when it comes to polymorphism, what is polymorphism here? Now, polymorphism in OOP is a concept that refers to the ability of a variable, a function, or an object to take multiple forms. Notice, we are talking about that object, the function, a variable, or an object to take multiple forms. Excuse me, what exactly do you mean by saying it takes the ability of a variable function of object to take multiple forms? What you're simply saying here is, I was saying that right now, that a person is an object. Then this particular person that you have as an object can take multiple forms. The same person can be a child, can be a school student, which is a student. Also at the same time can be a class monitor, can be a prefect, can be a brother, can be a sister. You see that? So this is one person, this is one object that is taking multiple forms depending on who is perceiving that person. You see that? So whoever looks at that person can look at, if the person goes to school, they become a student. If the person goes to class, they become a class monitor. If the person is at the school, like for instance, when they're looking at it, they're functioning at the school, they're a prefect. That person at home, they're a child. That person to their siblings, they're a brother or a sister. That person, when they are being looked at outside there in the world, and then they might be a cousin, they might be a stepchild, they might be anything. So hence that ability of either a variable, a function, or an object in this case here to take multiple forms becomes is what we call polymorphism. You see, so every time now it is so easy now once you define an object and then you get to call that object again and again and again, you can simply redefine how exactly you're going to work on them there. So now here they're saying that if you think about the Greek roots of the term, it should be obvious. E.g., poly means many. Polygon means many-sided. This is just taking you from there. Like polystyrene means many styrenes, polyglot means many languages and things like that. And then morph means change form. You see that? So morphology simply means that it is the study of form or biological form. So hence now you notice the polymorphism. Poly means many, phism say. So literally this word here, polymorphism, is basically means many forms. That's what it simply means, many forms. So a person, many forms. A car can be in many forms. You can define a vehicle. Now that vehicle can be anything. It can be a bike, it can be a bicycle, it can be a skateboard, it can be a boat, it can be an airplane. So depends on how you see that particular vehicle there, or who is talking about that particular vehicle there. So hence that is where polymorphism comes into play there. So now understanding it in OOP is that it is the ability to present the same interface for different underlying forms, for different data types. Same interface, and then it has so many different different data types. Then in programming language that exhibits polymorphism, objects of classes belonging to the same hierarchical tree inherited from the common base may possess functions bearing the same name, but each having different behaviors. You see, so this is what we're doing with polymorphism. We're basically defining behavior, different behaviors that we have. We're trying to define them. So these different behaviors there, and then now you're gonna have your just one variable or one object behaving differently depending on the interface or depending on who is using or interacting with that particular interface. So you're going to have all this one object that has been called every time it behaves differently. So as an example, let's assume that there is a base class called animals here, and then from which the subclasses horse, fish, bird are derived. Let us also assume that animals class has a function named move, which is inherited by all the subclasses mentioned. With polymorphism, each subclass may have its own way of implementing the function. You notice there that you've got these subclasses that you have horse, fish, bird. So now these here, they've got a function called move. How does a horse move? It gallops. And how does a fish move? It swims. How does a bird move? It flies. You see that? So hence now, this is what polymorphism does. Polymorphism allows us to actually implement each function in a certain way. So for example, there, when the function is called in an object of the host class, that particular function there might respond by displaying a trotting on the screen if it's a horse, or when the same function is called in the fish class, and then swimming might be displayed if a bird, and then flying might be displayed. And then in effect, polymorphism trims the work of the developer, because how he can now create a sort of general class with all the attributes, because now you've got a general class that you say, okay, all of these are my animals. And then you can have a general class there that it has 4 legs, it has a fur, and then it eats grass, for instance. And then from there, the behaviors will be now the sounds that they produce. Now, if they produce different sounds, and then you know that, okay, if I'm dealing with a farm, and then you know that you can have a cow, you can have a goat, you can have a horse. So now all of them, they basically have 4 legs. They all of them they eat grass. But now, what's the difference between them? You see that? So that difference between these particular animals can be defined in the classes. Not in the classes, I mean, but in the function. Yeah, in the function of these particular objects there. So primary usage of polymorphism in industry or in the OOP is the ability of objects belonging to different data types to respond to a method, field, or property calls of the same name, each one according to the appropriate specific behavior. So I'm going to show you just an example of polymorphism in like at work. So now polymorphism in this scenario here, is there a question here? I just want to see if there's a question. I'm seeing a red dot here. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen, Michelle. So I'm sorry, I'm just seeing your message now, but yeah. So let me do this. Let me just use a simple example here for polymorphism, and then to make you understand using these animal examples here. Notice here, we defined here a class called animal. This class called animal there, we know that we say that, okay, cool, it makes a certain sound. You see that? And then we didn't give it anything else. We just say that it makes a certain sound that basically becomes more of a function like, yeah. So now this thingy there, you notice there that it's going to, am I sharing my screen this side? No, I am actually not. Let me do this. Okay, I wanted to share this one. Okay, observe here. So now we have a class here. I hope you guys can see my screen. We have a class here that is animal that we introduced, or that we have constructed. And then now, and then from there, we say it makes sound, which is a function there. And then we know that an animal makes a sound. We know that. And then number 2 part here, we've got the class dog that extends from the animal that makes a sound, a barking sound, because a dog barks. And then we've got another class here that is called cat that also extends from we know that all these two animals, they make a sound. But now the difference is what type of sound do they make? We know that a dog barks, while a cat is going to mew. You see that? Then you've got the constant of those animals, new dog and new cat. And then we are just defining these functions there, and then animals for each animal, and then you say that these ones they make sound and things like that. So if we run this, and then it's supposed to give us, you notice the dog barks and the cat mews. So in simpler terms here, what we simply did is, in this example, we said that we know that both the dog and the cat classes, they're inheriting. You notice that it's basically the same principle of inheritance that is being applied with polymorphism, because usually inheritance and polymorphism, they work sort of hand in hand. They're almost similar because they make use of the inheritance principle anyway. So now, in this example here, we know that both the cat and the dog, they are classes that are inheriting their properties from animal. We know that both of them is animals that make sound. So now, both of those two classes, they override. Now, this is now something very, very important that you guys need to understand. So now we know that both of these two classes, the dog class and the cat class, or the dog object and the cat object, they override the make sound method. The make sound method, the sound method, make sound method, this make sound method, the first make sound method of the animal is overridden by these make sound methods, like in the dog and the cat classes. So the dog and the cat class are going to replace that make sound. Like make sound method say animal makes a sound. But now the moment that you start extending now from the animal class, you're extending the dog, and then you are overwriting that statement there that makes sound. The first statement you're overwriting with a new statement. Instead of now saying animal makes a sound, and then now it will say dog barks. The cat one will also do the same thing. It overrides by saying now a cat is going to mew. That's what it's simply doing there. So in this case here, that is what polymorphism is simply doing there. So it's all you override. You see that? So now, then when we create the instances of these classes called make sound, the instances of those two classes there, the one that you have, the instances which is this make sound in cat, in the cat class, and the make sound in the dog class, you are simply doing something that is called creating instances there. And then those instances there, they are exhibiting what we call polymorphic behavior, because it affects the output. In this case here, the output is going to change according to what the new instances of these classes do. So hence now, one thing that you need to understand here, you need to understand that polymorphism works in with different techniques. One is called method overriding, which is what we're talking about here. That you've got the method that was defined under the animal class, and then we overrode it by the method that is in the dog class, and we also overrode it by the method that is in the cat class. So we overrode that particular method, the first method there. That is hence what we call method overloading. That is what we call method overloading. And then the second aspect there is inheritance. Obviously, we know that you cannot work or you cannot create objects, like you need to create objects that inherit these properties and methods from a prototype for you to be able to use polymorphism, because polymorphism wouldn't exist without inheritance, especially in JavaScript. Do you guys get this? Like, do you guys get what I'm simply talking about here? Or is anyone lost? I'm just talking about polymorphism there. That is polymorphism. Like there isn't nothing much when it comes to that polymorphism, but I just explained there that the aspects of polymorphism, there is something called method overloading, which is basically a very big part of polymorphism. That refers to you overriding a method where basically it's allowing a subclass to replace the implementation of its parent method, which is basically the method in the original class, and then now these other extended classes are actually replacing the methods that are in that particular class there. So that there is polymorphism. So now, I think basically we are done with that particular module 2. So if you guys can go and read through that particular document, especially in this particular module 2, in this specific outcome 2 under module 3, and then you understand that we're basically done. I just simplified everything to a way that you guys can understand instead of just reading through that particular document there, because it doesn't do much justice. But yeah, yeah. Do you have any questions, especially regarding this?
Hi, sir. How are you?
Hey, Troy. How's it going?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good, man.
Good. Is it possible to give another? Pardon me. Yeah, pardon me. 1 second. Is it possible to give an example using HTML? Yeah, that kind of.
HTML.
Yeah. Using HTML or CSS in terms of the polymorphism.
HTML.
Yeah, aspect of things. Yeah, sure.
HTML and CSS, they do not apply the principles of OOP because they're not programming languages.
Yeah, true that. Yeah. Basically what I'm asking actually, because I can see we are on it, yes.
Or to create, you want me to create an app that is going to make use of polymorphism using HTML and CSS. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
But that's gonna take a lot of time.
Oh,
so
okay.
What I can do is, what I can do is I can create one, but not here because that will take a lot of time. So I can do that over maybe overnight, and then tomorrow, then I can show you its use in real time.
Possibly.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that tomorrow. Yeah.
Sure thing. But it's understood easily. Like it's self-explanatory. But thank you, sir.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just bring something tomorrow, and then I'll just work on something overnight.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Come on. Okay, cool. No problem.
All right. Chap Troy. Thank you. So, do you have any other questions, guys, besides the question that Mr. Troy asked? And then tomorrow, according to this, and Troy, please remind me, bro. Please remind me, eh? So I will.
I will do.
Yeah.
So tell me this. Let me just take you back. I'm sorry for this, but I hate you because there are certain things that are happening in my work thingy in 2020. So in terms of database and the financial aspect of things, right? Let me send you something from your opposite end. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you. There was a bit of noise on your background.
Yeah. We'll decipher that afterwards. It's fine.
Oh.
So yeah. I'm sorry about the noise. So
Okay.
what I wanted to ask was that, let's say with this, like we create a database, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our database is constituted of financial aspect of things. Let's say it's on a financial aspect of things, and in that sense, right? So we're gonna use this is really going root for root from Monday up until how we got here, right? So
Okay.
We're going to use obviously the logins, plugins, whoever comes in. Let's say, for instance, all our colleagues are coming in.
Yeah.
So all our colleagues are coming in into the database and everything else. Yeah. So in a nutshell, what I'm asking is that would you or wouldn't we use a Node.js in terms of keeping our database on our server, or would prefer another external party? Like yesterday, our deciphering of what you call the iCloud thing, like the WhatsApp, how they keep their our conversation in chat. Which one would go up? Which one would you opt for, actually, in essence?
Node.
Yeah, Node.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Node. Like the thing is with Node works also with cloud computing. So so I will incorporate Node, and then from there, and then what I can do is I can always write my script in Node, obviously, and then from there, and then when I'm deploying, I'll deploy it over the cloud.
Okay. So we incorporate everything with Node, and then when we dispatch it, obviously it's going to be Node and JS being incorporated also with
so
all
now,
our sure.
Yeah. So now what I do is when I'm hosting, or where I save my database, I'm not going to save my database on my local computer, but I'm going to save the database on the cloud server. You see now, so you have created the server on your local computer, and then from there, and then connect your Node.
Node. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Then you collect Node to whichever server. Like it depends. Like because other people will prefer to just build their server on the cloud once. And then if you do that, also it's actually allowed. You create the MySQL server or the Mongo database server on a cloud platform. And then after doing that, and then when you deploy, you simply deploy it like that.
Oh.
But now the connection part is you are always going to use Node
payment
to
part.
connect.
Payment part. Come again. Then I didn't catch the last part.
Oh, I'm saying that when you are connecting, you're always going to connect using Node. Node is basically a connector. That's what you're going to use to connect. Yeah.
Yeah, true. I got that. So when we dispatch, let's say for instance right now, right? You're saying to me, please, you see the assignment that you're giving us, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm asking essentially is to say this to you. Let's say we have a database, but we don't have it again.
Mm-hmm.
So and then in that context, we're taking it, then we dispatch it to Mr. Ramaphosa, right? Maposa, ask. Wow.
Wow. Wow. I see what you did there.
No, I'm sorry for that. Yeah. So in essence, we dispatch it to the whole program on a Git. Let's say for instance, like I'm giving you the hypothetical example of what went on and how actually
the application.
The application of, let's say, working together, but you're not close by, and then I have to dispatch it to you, and then you have to edit some other parts and blah 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 and the like. So I'm dispatching it to you, right? So in terms of that, of my database, let's say I've gathered enough people into my database, and then how do I send that database to you? Not given. Okay, let's say I didn't I've used PHP. Hypothetically, for argument's sake, how do we go about it? Can you hear me?
Sorry, Troy, I lost you there for a second.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Should I repeat some question again?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay. So I am saying that Node, it keeps our database, right? And we're doing our database as a backend with Node, and then obviously the JS will be the one that doing the implementation going forth. Usman Bani, VAR name, whoever, then so my CSS style is fine, and then HTML, then we are there, then everybody enters their name, all our colleagues, right? So what I'm asking is that how safe is it for me to send you my database to you? Let's say, for instance, you entered your name, but how do I keep in touch of that database on my server, knowing that Mr. Maposa signing?
On your server, isn't the database is yours? You are already acting on that particular database from your side.
How do I know? When you sign in today's, let's say, register, for instance, hypothetically, yeah.
Okay. So what a database does is a database. One nice thing about a database is it always logs. There's always log. Like the same way that Git has logs, and then also a database also has logs. So it shows each and every time someone logs into the database or someone makes a change on the database, there is a log that can be printed, that can be shown, like, okay, so and so logged here.
With JS?
Yeah, with JS and did ABC.
Okay.
Yeah. So for instance, like if I'm going to be using an app, and then I'm the administrator, and then it's going to show me that, okay, so and so did this and that and that and that and that, and then this is the change that they did, and this is the time they did that particular change, and then from there, and then you can do that. It does the same thing also for the users. Any type of action that was performed in the database is captured and stored in a logbook.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. So basically, Mr. Smaller knows what we are doing.
Each and every transaction, yes. So if you want to follow up and check all the transactions that you guys are doing, you can literally keep track of them. Yeah. So in this case here, like one thing that you need to understand there about Node sets up the back end of a database, of which now how it sets up the database not simple writes a script that you write a script on Node that is going to connect. You notice now that's going to connect your app to the server. Yeah, that's what Node does. Not act as a middleman. It's like that guy in the middle there. That's simple.
I get it. Okay. A follow-up question towards that as well. Okay. So let's say hypothetically, obviously, Mr. Spanello, he's the one, the back end guy, knows by this time, whatever. So which particular input that was encrypted in that moment whereby he's in a mid of things, but how does he know, or what program was it used in that manner of the signatures? Troy, let's say for instance, sign in 3 o'clock, whoever 2 o'clock. Yeah. So what is the working, the particular program software that was used?
in that manner, in terms of time? We know we can set it up. We know we can set it up on JS, but how? Yeah, we know we can set it up though. Or am I answering myself on JS? Because
technically you are, because JS does everything. Like remember here, JS does everything. Node doesn't do anything. Node simply connects.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure thing. Okay, no problem. All right. Now, thank you for your time, hey?
Okay, cool, man. So you ask a question and you answered it yourself.
All right. No, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Awesome, Troy.
All right.
So for the rest of you guys, any questions from you guys? Oh.
Sir, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So are we not supposed to use also React, because I see that it's more of a front end than back end? So,
hence I said to you that if you guys can, I will suggest that React actually makes your work very easy, especially when it comes to designing the front end and stuff.
Yeah.
So hence the point of me teaching you guys JavaScript is so that you guys can be able to use React and you can be able to use Node, like the Node that you're talking about.
So they work hand in hand. Yes.
Yes. So obviously now, because you have JavaScript, now you have both the front end and you've got a language that can write both the front end and the language that can also write the back end. So literally now you have been equipped with a language that can do both aspects. So now it is up to you now on, okay, am I going to use JavaScript for me to, am I going to use JavaScript, HTML, and CSS for me to be able to do that? Yes, it's possible. You can do that. I showed you last time. But now, is that going to give me a lot of work? Yes, a lot. But if I use React, that's something that can take me 2 weeks to design on like this entire app here. That can take you almost 2 weeks for you to design and finish. With React, it can take you 3 days, 4 days tops.
Then it means we should use React.
So now that the question is, are you willing to learn that React? Because React doesn't take time. You guys just have to go through different tutorials that you find. Can recommend 1 or 2 if I can get them for you, and then you guys can always, just go through. And there's this other guy on YouTube that I'll recommend. Very, 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 very good gent. And he's got a React tutorial that he has that is so good. The guy is called Programming with Mosh. If you can just find that, yeah, Programming with Mosh, you can just go through his tutorial, especially on React, and then you can just go through how React operates and things like that. It's like, as I said, React doesn't take time. It's something very small, because already you guys know HTML, you guys know JavaScript, you know CSS, which means React is not going to be a problem, because it's simply incorporating those aspects.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Namfundo. So any further questions, guys, or you sorted now? So anyway, as I was saying, like with Namfundo and Troy. So one of the most important aspects is, like, now it is up to you guys now to find out what exactly do you want to do. So anyway, with me, this is what I'm going to be doing. Like I told you that we are going to learn all of these technologies. So we're simply going to finish up on these modules here, the stuff that is left. So we still have this module here left for OOP and software development and things like that, and then so that you guys can basically understand what we were talking about there, their abstract classes and their reusability and things like that. We're super going to talk about that because I think that's the only thing that is left. That is the only thing that is left there. And then from there now, we're going to look at the last module as soon as we're done, especially with module 6. And then when you are talking about documentation and stuff, because you guys are going to produce documentation for your apps. So now what you're simply going to do is you are going to go through these documents that you have produced. And you're going to apply those principles to build the app. So which means, like as I said, that we should be done by the end of this month, we'll be done with this particular module. So which means the following month, we're simply looking at coding, like precisely like looking at coding, nothing else. And then because we need to finish up on those apps there. So I'm going to touch base, especially on the principles of React. We're going to touch base on the principles of Node so that you guys can understand. Obviously, we're also going to touch MySQL because there's a reason why I made you download MySQL. So we're also going to touch on those principles of MySQL. And then, like as I say, that I do not have time for me to go through, like it will take time. And I do not want you guys also to get used to someone developing on your behalf. So what I'm going to do is I'll develop something on my side, something similar to the database, to the app that you want to do. And then I'll make it a little bit from my side. I'll make it a little bit more functional because I want to find a way to put it out there. And then now, and then I will show you guys how everything works, how everything is combined. So I will show you the back end, I'll show you the front end, I will show you the database, how it works and everything else. So I need to show you those aspects there. So those are the things that are left. Those are things that we're simply going to touch base on. So
can I ask you last question?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have time? Like, do you have time for us? Like, let's say one day where we can come with our laptops to code with you. Like, do you have a certain time set aside for us like that? Because I know you have a busy schedule, but can you make time for us to code together in one setup, one setting? Is it possible on your side?
It is
like
possible.
To have it practical.
Yeah, it is possible, but that will be after the let me see, the first week of October. The first week of October, I can make some time there.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
we can
so
communicate.
The 5th of October, I can make time. Then we can communicate. We'll communicate probably in the 20s. Then to tell you exactly, maybe 2 days in that week there that you guys can come through, and then for those that are able to come through, and then we'll see if I can assist in any way, so that I can also have that time to view some of your projects and see if there's anything that can be done to fix what. Yeah.
Yes, sir, because the reason why I'm asking this is because we're gonna do this after, we are doing it now on a school level. We're gonna do it in a practical level when we go into workplaces. So I feel like we should get that feel before, because with the level 4, it was more of a desktop support, and it's desktop and and network. So I felt like I needed a practical to say, this is how you connect the Ethernet before I could go into a place, because you learn those things now, and they keep asking, what did you do at school? They didn't show you this thing. So I don't want when I'm going
that kind of
development, and then they're like, hi, you did software engineering, but you don't have any idea. This is what we do. These are the projects that we're going to give you, and you have no idea. So I wanted us to at least play it in a practical form, so that we have an understanding of exactly where are we going to. We can even do it towards, like you are saying, towards the end of the program, just the feel of how it feels, or a day in the life of a technician, that specializes in development, in software development or software engineering. Yeah, so that's been my concern. But I'm glad that you can make something, can plan something for us.
Okay. No stress. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Fundo. I'll organize a day so that we can come, so that I can show you, especially when it comes to tools and stuff, you guys need to be able to understand. And just talking about them is not gonna carry it properly. So like as that suggestion, which I think is a very good suggestion, then you guys can just come through and for those that can, and then it's not like compulsory or anything. So you can come through and then I will show you just a few things there, especially when it comes to installing the apps, what kind of apps you need, how to install those particular apps, because those are some of the technicalities that you need. Because imagine like you get to your workplace and then they'll be like, okay, we're using Visual Studio Code, and then in your Visual Studio Code you're supposed to have icons that are supposed to be like this, you're supposed to have this type of what you call set up in terms of plugins and things like that, and you have no clue how to even to download a plugin and stuff. That tends to be a trend much later. But yeah.
Yes, like a workshop, like your laptop should be set up as a, what is it, a UX designer, something of that sort, so that they can, yeah, you get it most.
So that we have it. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so if there is no further questions, then let's meet tomorrow to do the last part of this particular module. So like as I said, we still have a little bit of work to do, but it's not as much as when we started. Not as much as we started. Like we've done the OOP principles, we've done inheritance, we've done polymorphism, and I'm going to teach you the other two methods, even if your module here doesn't show you. And then you are also going to visit those other two modules, those other two aspects there, especially the aspect of encapsulation and abstraction. So because we also need to understand encapsulation, so we need to know that part there. How do we use encapsulation there in JS and in other programming languages? Because those are some of the aspects that are actually added there. So those things there. So yeah, I think for today we've spoken enough and covered a lot. So let's continue tomorrow, and then we'll see what it is that we need to do. So have a good day, guys. And yeah, if you have any problems, especially, then you can always list them so that we can do. Because I think right now it is high time that most of you guys, have questions even before we start class. Like just before we start class there, and then you just bombard me with a couple of questions like, okay, I met this problem when I was doing this. I met this problem when I was doing this. Instead of just you guys, taking in, you're also supposed to be, saying some stuff, contributing, confusing me a little bit, because I also need to be confused sometimes to make the class a little bit more exciting, so that you guys have a clue that I'm also a human like everyone else. So yeah, have a good day. Talk tomorrow. Cheers.
Bye, sir.
Bye, no friend.
Okay, bye, sir.
Bye, Michelle.